My ears are not at their best right now. After two shows back to back, Saturday and Sunday. It's Sunday night, 10:30 p.m. So can you guys hear the AC and the fan going on, or is it okay to continue, or is there some random Japanese commercial going on? So please let me know so I can continue and we can carry on. So things are okay. I'm assuming so. Okay. Uh, Man, I'm tired. I was thinking about it on the way back from tonight's show, and I realized besides working every day during the weekdays, I guess some of you might argue, well, are you really working if you're going to these shows? Um, Sometimes yes, sometimes no, more times yes. Um, but yeah, so it makes sense now why I want to just like veg and do nothing. Hey, what's going on, Kevin? It's been a while since you made it out to a live stream, right? I think. How are you? All right, guys. Hey, Alan, how are you? I want to get into, hey, what's going on, J Music? I want to get into the shows, but a couple of things that I want to get out there. Uh, the first, hey, Uncle Yoshi, konnichiwa, what's going on? I've been okay. I've been okay. Thank you, guys. Tired, sleep has not been the best. Um, as you can see, uh, this is my bedroom, living room setup. It's really just one big room with my bed here. And sometimes I just don't want to go over and sit down in the chair in the office. So this is just me kind of doing a little minor little setup, a little background deco. Yeah. So anyhow, guys, couple of things I want to get out of the way. The first is that I have started to use my Instagram a lot more. So I have my personal one, which you do not have to friend me for. It's just me and my dog, and like I haven't used it in a while, and I think my dog wants to drink some water. You got water there? Yeah, you have water. But the other, it is called peter.lim.mnn. So yeah, you guys can go ahead and check that out. I've decided to make more use of my Instagram for MNN for this account, peter.lim.mnn, to post a lot of different shows, post schedules, post maybe some live stuff, or connect to stuff that I put on YouTube, and then just connecting more with the artists themselves since they also use Instagram for various things. I know like Asterism uses. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want to be on TV? Do you want to go through? Okay. Say hi. Say hi. Okay. So yeah, I'm throwing that out there for you guys to know. peter.lim.mnn on Instagram. It's a way for you guys to see kind of what's going on. And if you don't use Twitter/X, you can use Instagram for that as well. That gives you some details of where I'll be, of what I'm doing, of what I've done, and of kind of the content that's being created out of the shows that I've attended. The other thing that is actually really cool this past couple of weeks, is, as you know, or most of you should know, is that I've been doing a lot of photography lately, more so the past few months, but you know, the past year and a half. In the same way that Hades was the first interview for MNN that kind of really kind of set us off in kind of a new direction. Sara was also the first artist that allowed me to take photos of her. And it was just on a whim. I thought, I'll just bring my camera. I haven't used it for years. And since then, you know, I've been using it a lot, just about every week, which is pretty wild. And the cool thing, hey, how's it going, Walter? The cool thing is seeing on SNS social media is that quite a few people have been using images that I've taken. So let's see, Bad Bubble, they have a one man, I don't know if it's their very last show, but it'll be the last one man they have um, on September 23rd, and their poster incorporated photos that I took of them when they performed at Shibuya Cyclone. This was like about 30, no, 40 days ago. This was for Natsuo, the bassist, her birthday. So that was really cool. Sada used my photo posting about her show today, which happened at a, was it today or yesterday? Yesterday. It was like a biker slash rock show, which is really cool and fits her completely. Brutality. They used the image that I had taken of Whiskey Dust a while back. They used that for promoting their thing. Let It Out Lydia, the lead singer and main lyricist Minaho, it was her birthday actually on the 6th. And this is me self-promoting, but her birthday is 1 month earlier than mine. You guys do the math. But that was cool to see. Well, Let It Out, whoever it was, used her image to celebrate her birthday. Nekomeshi 222, Raizo, the lead singer, she actually changed her profile picture on her Twitter X using a photo that I took of her. That was really cool. And Hades has been using some of my photos for various things. One of the main things is what would you call it? The set list. They have set list with a photo, and they sell that to people who want it. And for the past few months at least, they've been using images that I've used, so that's really cool. So yeah, who would have known? I definitely wouldn't have, but it's really cool, and it seems like photography has kind of become a big thing for me. Even Jungfrau, the band that had their last show a couple weeks ago, they asked if they could receive the rest of their photos. So I kind of touched them up and I sent it along. So a lot of things here and there. It's very cool. So please look out for that. There's stuff on my Instagram. There's actually quite a few photos on our Patreon. I don't know if you guys know about that, but if you guys really do like images and you like images of different bands, Patreon is where like all that stuff is at. And that, let me actually get to that. That would be MNN Tokyo Plus. So if you guys are interested, you'll have to join, and there are different tiers. And depending upon the tier, you can get those images. There's also videos I've been putting up, so that's there. Okay, now with that aside, yeah, let's get into the shows. And they're very worthwhile shows to talk about. They're very interesting and very different from one another. And they're very different for me also because basically not to say that I haven't been introduced to a lot of new artists at once at certain shows, but with this one, they're a bit more high profile artists that I never saw live. So yesterday, Bridear was the band that I wanted to see, but I also wanted to see Saki, who was performing, and Lonesome Blue as well. So Lonesome Blue never got into, I heard one of their songs, I thought it was okay, but I thought, cool, this is a good chance to check them out live. And then Saki, very interesting thing is that I can't say I have a connection with her, but when Herman Lee had interviewed through Twitch, I believe it was Twitch, right? Back in like 2021 or so, when he had interviewed Kanami and Miku from Bandmade, I had been promoting, just making my own images, and then he contacted me and said, "Oh, hey, can you do this? Can you do that?" So that was really cool then, like really exciting. So I made that the promo for the Konami and then for the Miku interview. And then I'm not sure how much more later, but he was doing an interview with Saki. I had seen her, I'd known about her. I knew she was with Mary's Blood and the Nemophila. So I actually made a promo for that as well. And then Saki had retweeted that as well as Herman. So that was really nice, really neat. So she doesn't know that she touched base with me. Again, not really touched base, but we interacted indirectly, directly, sort of. So, but she is kind of weird. She's always been my favorite, even though I didn't see that much of her. I've always liked her the most. I found her the most attractive out of Nemophila. There was something about her, this quality, and it all just kind of got reaffirmed at this show from yesterday. So let's start with yesterday's show. It was called Rockline Odyssey 2. Rockline Odyssey 1 was last year. Last year. That's right, Ellen. You've never mentioned that before. Never. Rockline Odyssey 1 last year had Sega, Unlucky Morpheus, I think one other band, I can't remember who. But this year it was Saki, Bridear, Lonesome Blue. Bridear was the band that I really wanted to see, but the other two, I was like, oh, this is really cool. I get a chance to see these bands or these artists that I don't know very well. So Bridear was up first. They did an awesome job, and they sang two of their new songs from their new album Born Again. They did Braver Words, and they also did Still Burning, which was like big, so big. And definitely comparing the other songs they played, Ignite was just a huge song, like awesome, one of my favorites. They did Starlight, Eyes of Doubt, Bloody Bride, I forget the other two. But when you hear the songs off of Born Again, they're just different. They feel just a lot wider. There's a lot more breadth and depth and like heat to it. So it was really awesome to see them again. And the other cool thing is that they actually came up to the front of the stage and they were talking with the host. The guy's name is something Sanchu. Sanchu? Maybe Sanchu? I don't know. But he actually talked to the girls. So after they performed, they came out to the front after the curtain was drawn. The girls lined up and they were talking, interacting, and it was just fun. It was fun hearing them talk, and it's nice. It's the same way, especially for people who are like, bandmate fanatics, how we get excited when they just have interviews. Like you'd think as musicians, we just want to hear them play, but no, we want to see more of them as people, especially in this day and age. We like seeing that aspect of them. And it's definitely a part of the package of being a musician these days. So that was really nice to hear them talk and to share. Being excited to go to Australia coming up as they open for Dream Evil. Natsumi, she's just really cute. The way she talks, the way she just like, her dad was there, so she was saying hi, and she was like, I think the host asked, is there anything you want to say before we go off the stage? She's like, oh, thank you for making me good food at home, because she's still at home with her folks. Ayumi is just, I don't know, there's something about it just very, very cool. And she was like, just like doing this and like, I don't know, there's something about her I really, really like. But all of them were great. Moe really just shining a lot more these days, especially from a year and a half ago when I first saw her. Yeah, she's just getting more. That's how it is, right? I mean, as these bands, as these players perform more and more on stage, get used to how everything flows and goes, and the people, they get better at it, right? They get better. So it was really awesome. Next up was Lonesome Blue. And I don't know how many of you are big fans of Lonesome Blue. Um, their sound doesn't just quite work for me personally. Um, there's a visual aesthetic and there's a musical aesthetic that I just don't quite connect with them. Um, they're amazingly talented, like incredible singer, incredible drummer, incredible bassist, and they had an incredible support guitar. What was her name? Uh, hold on a second. She's got a lot of history. I believe she had worked with Mary's Blood, but yeah, like she definitely has been around and like is very well known. Yashiro, I was gonna say Yoshiro. Yes, Yashiro. There you go. So she's friends with Saki, and she's amazing. She's really petite, but amazing player. So as individual artists, performers, I mean, they're really phenomenal. But their collective sound is just not something that I really listen to. Um, and this is something that will piss that might piss some of you off, especially if you're a Gachadic Spin fans. Is I don't like bands or songs where the bass is too busy in a certain way. And it's weird because when I say that, mm, like I'll say this. Even as much as I love Misa, I love her earlier playing than her later. As much as I love her slapping because it's sprinkled in. Um, I do love the bass and playing it too, but there's a certain way that I like it and a certain way that doesn't quite work for me. So just, personally, again, they're an amazing band, and when you listen, you know they're incredibly gifted and talented. Yuki, the bassist, and I guess you'd be doing the harmonies, background singing. Like she's so talented. Like again, they're all super talented. Um, but I just don't quite connect with the music, and that's just kind of how it is. The drummer, I was feeling. Was it Mizuki? I forget her name. And I'll slowly, get into like finding out details about them. But amazing, super talented, but not quite my thing. Yeah. Okay, moving on. So Saki, Saki was up, and I think from the get go when I saw her anywhere on social media, I was like, yeah, she's gorgeous. She is absolutely gorgeous. Um, and she's never not been gorgeous whenever I've seen her, and it's not something that necessarily keeps me tied to a band, but Saki's pretty exceptional. Um, as a person, as a performer, as a musician, like she does incredible guitar work. Hey, what's going on, Peter? I hope you're enjoying your stay here. And even though I was never into Nemophila the way that a lot of people were, and are, um, she was always my favorite. I was just like, yeah, Saki's my favorite. So, she takes the stage and she's playing and she's kicking ass. And she played Empress live, which was phenomenal. Sounded great in the hall. Um, really, just such a big sound. It just sounded so good. And she, um, she had her support players. Who was it? Hibiki, who's the bassist. Shun was on drums, and who was it on guitar? Forget his name. But the interesting thing is Hibiki, who's coming out, um, his look is very feminine, but his walk is very masculine. And so as he was walking out, because he was one of the first performers to come out, because the bass was all the other side, I was like, I think it's a guy. And then I looked at his face and I was like, but I think it's a girl. I think it's a guy, but now I'm not sure. So, and I was like, oh, okay, he's not. Yeah, there you go, Iso. And they go, oh, okay, there you go. He's not wearing platform shoes, so it's a guy. But he kind of looks like Fuki from Unlucky Morpheus. Kind of has that look. So anyway, that's a little side note. Awesome support, and then Saki's there, and for me personally, it was nice that her support players were all guys, because the last time, who was it? Is it Yurika Impact from Kakomero, right? And then Meroik. And then Hana from Gatarik was on guitar, and then Senri Kawaguchi was on drums. So because it was guys, and this is me being honest, it was like I didn't feel like I had to like focus on any of the other players. It was just like it's all just Saki. I'll just look at her the entire time. And I did, and I was just like, wow, she's incredible. She's incredibly magnetic and mesmerizing the way she plays. And there were just a couple of things, like when she was talking, she was very, like, she sounded nervous. She sounded very delicate, very demure. I thought, man, that's not quite how I pictured Saki, especially stories about her, like kicking a cell phone out of a guy's hand because he was recording instead of enjoying the show. Her nickname being Chucky or Chucky. You know, just stories. When Nemophila performed at Whiskey A Go Go, I saw footage and her just saying, you know, I'm really disappointed. Like, I expected more from you guys. So, she didn't come off as assertive or aggressive as I had kind of thought. But there were moments I was just like, no, it's absolutely there. There's a certain filter lacking with her, which I actually love. And so what happened was there were posters, signed posters that were being handed out. It was like a lottery. And so basically after every performer, after every act finished, they would come out, the host would hold the box and they would pull it out, call a seat number, because it was seated in the hall. And when it was Haki's turn, people were just missing, like they weren't there in those seats. So then she was pulling out. So then she was just like, just grabbing them, like, and the host is like, you're very quick. You're very quick. Just the way she was doing that. And then before she got off the stage, she had a water bottle, she was drinking from it. She just chucked it out into the audience without saying anything, without like gesturing that she was going to do something, or like, you know, it was just like an afterthought, just throwing it. And I thought, yeah, she's gorgeous. She's an amazing guitarist. She's scary, like all these components. And then in my head, I was just picturing, like, you know, back in the 80s, it was these teenagers with like bras on their head and like, you know, making Kelly LeBrock their dream girl. And I thought, yeah, I had to just think that, I was just thinking that, you know, these two middle-aged to retired aged guys with bras on their heads, like dreaming up their dream girl, and it would be Saki. She's something else. She's something else. The way she plays, the way she performs, the way she looks. I mean, just, she's, at the very end, there was a session song. They did Rock and Roll All Night from Kiss. And so all the girls except Natsumi came out. So there were actually 4 guitars on stage and they all did solos. So Isao, Saki stayed there. In the back was Moe and Ayumi. And the other session players were there. So they were doing that. And yeah, I know. I know it's weird science. And as I was watching Saki and Bridear on stage, and then was it Mariko from Lonesome Blue, the singer, or Maiko, whatever. Um, they were all out there, and I was just thinking, I mean, all these ladies are gorgeous, but Saki made everyone else on stage look very, very human. And I don't know how to say that or word it exactly, but sorry, I'm harping on way too long. I was just really taken. I was just really taken, as you can tell. So, um, my favorite set was Bridear because I love their songs. And more than um, more than an instrumentalist. Like I love instrumentals, but it's not like I prefer songs, songs that are sung. And so Bright Ear for me was the best for me. Lonesome Blue, it was good to see. Happy to see them. I don't feel like I have to see them again, but super talented, super talented. Um, really exceptional musicians, all of them that were there on stage. Um, and then Mizuki also playing for East of Eden, so that's another band that you guys can check out. And then Saki, I mean, yeah. I felt like a teenage boy just like gawking. Good times, good times. It was like me watching Lita Ford singing Kiss Me Deadly. Hey Eric, what's going on? Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. So, overall I enjoyed the show. I'm not the biggest fan of halls because it's seated and you are kind of stiff and stuck. The guy next to me was a huge Lonesome Blue fan. He had a signed shirt. And the whole time he was kind of just waving it like, look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. And I'm just like, bro, like, just enjoy. No, I mean, Ellen, I kind of knew. I kind of knew. But what's to warn really? And I have my Facebook here, so there's a picture of Saki right now, and I'm just like, yeah. She really does make everyone else around her look very, very mortal. Um, let's go on because this is not about just Saki, but the shows that I attended. So let's go on to today's show. Yeah, man. I mean, she has that rock. Now you're gonna make me talk about it more, but she just has that rock, like, I don't give a fuck attitude, you know? There's just that, there's that danger. There's that danger. That you don't find in actually a lot of bands as amazing as they are as metal or rock bands. There isn't that sense of danger. Do you know what I mean? But she has that, which I love. Like that's kind of how I grew up with these other bands who were sort of dangerous. Okay, moving on to today's show. Uh, so last night show was at a place called Nishi Ari Hall. Now, today it was at Nishikawaguchi Hearts, a venue that I had seen the name of it for quite some time, like here and there, but I never gone. So it was my first time to the venue. I liked it. It's one of the very few venues where it's not, um, underground. It's not B1 or B2 or B3. So that was nice. Um, yeah, it had a nice entry, good venue. The sound wasn't too bad. Pretty high ceilings. The lighting was good. Stage was fairly high, so that was nice. A lot of regulars that I see from other shows, a lot of Dimray shows because Dimrays was there, but from like Bridear, and then Hero from J Rock Tours was also there with a couple of customers, so that was cool. Talked to one of them for a bit. And today we had Dimrays was first, then ALMONDot. Some of you might know them. There's a song that's kind of popular. The other was Broken by the Screen, BBTS, which I think some of you know. I believe they just toured in Europe and came back recently. And then Dizzy Metal, which is a cover band of baby metal with Uyu from Monodiagram, formerly of Hagane. And she plays the role of Sue Metal, so she takes her vocal parts. Incredible, by the way, incredible. So, oh, and then Jeff Fenn, who is a, what would you call him? What do you call someone who follows MNN fairly regularly? I don't know what we would call you guys, but let's see. So yeah, but from England, he's visiting. He's a big fan of Hades, so we've interacted, and he will be seeing Hades for the first time, which is great. But moving on, Dimrays was up first, 4 p.m. Fantastic as always. I took photos for them, and if you guys do want to see, it is again on X, Twitter. Patreon will be the whole thing. There will be some up on Instagram at some point. And then also the HRHM group run by Randall Miyashiro on Facebook. A few photos there as well. So I try to spread it out. But I mean, they're fantastic. What can I say? Like the energy that they put out, especially Naho on bass, is just she's a whirlwind. Like on stage, she just doesn't stop. You know, it's just fantastic. And the thing is, if you talk to her in person, she's adorable, but you can see her energy just like always. Going on, David. Her energy is just like you cannot put a cap on it. And then Akane kind of balances that. She has, you know, lower register. She's just more chill and cool, but there's this really interesting balance yin yang between the two of them. That's really, I really enjoy. So it was great seeing them again, taking photos for them, and then just talking to them afterwards at the merch table. Bought a shirt. This is one of their shirts, which was really cool. Unfortunately, they only sell it in extra large. I guess that's easy, but for a guy like me, it turns out to be like little mini skirts. So, but it's cool. I like it. And on the back is some more Dimrays. So, got that going. So yeah, what can I say about Dimrays? I mean, again, their energy is incredible. Their stage work is incredible. Their crowd control is incredible, and there's enough fans now that just they know what to do. They know how it's done. It's like it's a very well-run machine. Even though sometimes that machine tends to bump into people on the sides while they're moshing and running and doing all these things. And I don't know if this is a thing anywhere else, like in the States or in Europe or Australia or wherever. But do you guys have people doing push-ups during these kinds of shows where there is moshing and wall of death and like crowd surfing? Because there are these guys. The first time I saw it was at Anti-Knock like a couple months back, and I was like, I've never had the urge to do a push-up at a live show, but hey, you do you. So yeah, I'm curious about that. Next up was ALMONDot. Yeah. I don't know how many of you guys know who ALMONDot is. It's like almond, and it's only one D, so ALMONDot or ALMONDot. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. This is my second time seeing it today, and it was like two guys instead of just this one. So, I don't know, man. I saw a video and a song for ALMONDot, something about, forget the song title, something with mom, but it was very like kind of rappy, hip hoppy, but also, you know, like metal. And um, what can I say? I'm not quite sure. I'm a little confused by them, and I have to see more of it. They're very much like a party band. Their sound is it's almost industrial. Oh, is that what it's called? Okay. So, surprise mom. But they've got this sort of hip hop industrial sound. And they throw in a lot of different sort of club beats backed by like a lot of distortion. And then they have songs where the chorus breaks into more of a 4/4 straightforward chorus, which I don't know. I mean, it's fun. Like everyone there was having fun during their set. And it was, you could tell that they're still young. They're still a little like stiff and awkward in places. Um, the two main girls, the rapper singer and then the guitarist singer, they were dressed in like pastel spaghetti strap tops with like white skirts. It seemed very Valley Girl to me, which was sort of weird. And one of the girls reminded me of this one kid I knew from way back in the day, and I was like, so I was in a weird headspace. But yeah, so their sound again, it's like it's a weird mix of club club beats with industrial, like again almost Rob Zombie-ish, and then they go into this very like sort of poppy choruses but still heavy. Um, their performance, I don't know. Like there were no drums though, so that was weird. And they were supported by a bassist who was masked, and then another guitarist who was a guy. And so it was this weird mix. It was eclectic, but it didn't quite mesh as well as I think a band like Dimrays does. And I do prefer the songwriting from Dimrays. And so for me, like I'm very much big on like how well a song is written, how well it's composed, arranged, and you can hear it and you can feel it. I didn't quite get that from this band, but they're very fun. They're very fun. And they definitely bring a certain mood to the crowd, and a lot of energy. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for them. But it's not like they kind of blew me away. But they were cool. They were fun. Yeah. So ALMONDot. You can check them out. Third, which a lot of you know, they've been around. I've known the name for years now, years, but I don't really follow like alt idol bands or groups. And today sort of reinforced that, reaffirmed it, where I was just like, yeah, I'm not too hip on all the choreography and the whole idol-y thing, which is weird because one of my favorite albums, oh, it's right here. One of my favorite albums these days is from Mellows, and you know, Mio is formerly of Paspo, very much an idol, and she brings in that concept of idol into the band, but it's still a band. With Broken by the Scream, it's just, you know, four girls with backing tracks and a lot of dancing, but you know, a lot of death voice, a lot of screaming, and a lot of cutesy singing. But I don't know, for me, it's just not my thing. Great, you know, I mean, they're definitely popular with a lot of people. I know people who really like them, and I think they're cool, but they don't work for me either. So, what about you guys? Are you guys into that? Like, I think the closest I got into a band like that was probably Bish. Um, Bish I enjoyed because Ina was in there, especially Ina. But they had some good songs, which I really liked. Broken by the Scream, it's okay, but um, what can I say about it? Yeah, I kind of tuned out. And again, it's not to say that they're bad, but again, it just didn't work for me. The last was Dizzy Metal, and today, it was sort of titled Metal Resurrection, and it was My Metal's birthday, and I don't quite know who My Metal is. The only metal I know is Uyu Metal, and again, Uyu, formerly of Hagane, now of Monodiagram and Dizzy Metal. And the cool thing was that I was talking to, again, one of Hero's customers from J-Rock Tours. We're talking, and then Uyu Metal, like, was coming through. Like, this is outside, like, in the lobby area. And I was like, oh, this is Uyu Metal. Like, she's really cool. She's like, oh, thank you. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, it was a very sincere, like, oh, thanks. She appreciated that. And that right there kind of made me a bigger fan. And I was a pretty big fan already. Um, when I found Hagane, I really was drawn to her voice. Just the way that she could soar. And more than Nagi, who replaced her and who's also an exceptional singer, Uyu kind of has more, it's a little bit more loose, just slightly more wild and raw, which I like. Like, I like that. Oh, she has an incredible voice, incredible, and she like proved that today, singing all the parts, of Su Metal. And kind of what was really really cool, which even though Dizzy Metal is a cover band, tribute band, copy band, whatever you want to call it, um, goddamn, like it's not like, ordering from Wish and this is what you get. Like it was like they did amazing. Like it was an incredible production from beginning to end. Like the way that they did things, the background music that they incorporated, being so committed to the act. And what was really cool for me to see was actually not just them performing, but the crowd. Like, I've been so caught up in sort of the more underground music world, more of the live shows, the indie bands, rock and metal, and so I didn't quite know. Mm, I like it. I mean, yeah, I think they're great. Hagane. I don't think they're the best soloists. Just that. Yeah. So seeing how well the crowd responded, how well they reacted, and how well they sort of followed the lore of baby metal along with them, it was really cool to see. I mean, it was really interesting. Like it was a story unfolding before my eyes. Like I was in the back, I was recording some stuff, doing some photos as well. And throughout the course of their set, people were sitting down and rowing. They were bowing. What else they were doing? I mean, and the whole like moshing and everything else involved. But there was a lot of like myth to it, which is really interesting. And a lot of people there just knew what was up, which was really fun. Um, they were just sort of part of the whole thing, the whole package. So, for me, I got into baby metal for a brief period when I was in Korea, 2017, before I left Korea. And I believe it was Road to Resistance. My song was Karate. But of course, there's, Gimme Chocolate, and, all those other songs, all those other songs. But I have to say, for a cover band playing in a live house like that, they made that live house feel as big as it could possibly be. Like it felt like a stadium performance, like what they were doing. It was this whole thing. It was really interesting. I was really fascinated by the whole process. And again with Uyu, just incredible. Like, Mono Diagram is one of those bands that I want to interview, and hopefully I can interact more with Uyu. even just, complimenting her like on Twitter and then saying hi to her, like it's those little steps, step by step. That's kind of, some bands I can just get in like that, talk to them, and things kind of happen. Other bands, it's a slower process, but it's still something. So, but she's definitely someone that I want to interact more with, and I think she's really fun. But yeah, it was really great. Like I haven't listened to Baby Metal like in a long, long time. Like listen to them. Like I've heard their song, even like Ratatata, which they performed today, which was really fun actually. Um, I kind of understood the cult that they've created watching Dizzy Metal. I kind of understood the cult that surrounds them, and the cult slash culture that surrounds them. Yeah, so it was fun. It was fun. I was really, again, really taken by Uyu, her vocals, her performance too. Like she was doing all the moves, but she added like she's got charm. Like she's a very charming girl. So that was something to see. Um, like, but again, like I've personally stopped listening to baby metal. Like I'll listen to stuff maybe here and there when I come across it at some point, but I don't like go out of my way. Um, so Dizzy Metal was kind of a way for me, and I've never seen baby metal live. So it gave me a taste of what it could be, and it kind of gave me a sense of understanding of what baby metal is. But I will say that if you do even just like baby metal, not even love, but and you're in Japan and you can't see baby metal, totally, totally 100% recommend Dizzy Metal. Like, it just, you'd be surprised. You'd be really surprised, but it's a great time. And the crowd that is there will know what to do. I would guarantee any given show, any venue, the crowd will know what to do. As I was watching today, I was like, okay, that's what baby metal has done to this scene. Whether you like them or not, whether you agree with their trajectory or not, with what they've done commercially, it just they've definitely affected the culture, the music here. And today was sort of like it was pretty eye opening. So yeah, that was my Saturday and my Sunday. Um, Going to the show, coming back from the show, and being at the show. Um, Basically 7 to 8 hours of my days are taken. So it is tough to get other stuff done that I probably need to. Oh, the band that was backing them, the Kami band that was playing today for them was awesome. They were incredible. And having a band there, again, it does help to get into it. Like, for me, it was just the whole thing, really, the whole thing. And just because Uyu was such a singer, like it was such, um, whereas like some like idol groups, alt idol groups, um, singing is there, but it's not like a really heartfelt. It's not like, I don't know. But there was one point where like I was really moved, and so was Jeff. Like we were like, oh my gosh, our tears. So yeah, so let's recap. Saki, goddess. I don't say that really about anyone, but I don't know. I'd love to interview at some point, talk to her at some point, be kicked by her at some point. She does have that similar Psyche energy. Um, but even Psyche doesn't feel dangerous. Saki feels dangerous. Like she'll like legit hurt you. So that's kind of, but again, it's cool. Bridear is Bridear. I'm so happy for them. So happy for their new album. So happy for the world tour coming up. And um, again, just hoping at some point I can interact with them more. Lonesome Blue, not my thing, but super super talented musicians. Like all of them, phenomenal, really. Dimrays, awesome group, always happy to talk to them. Yeah, it's nice to that, like, will I get stabbed today? Um, yeah, Dimrays, I love seeing them perform. Love seeing them perform. Again, like, just great, great stuff. Wonderful music. Their songs, and again, Akane's like performance, her singing. Oh, cool, Love Bites. Yeah, they just performed and they were doing all that signing from like 3 items. It went down to 2 items and then to one. So that's unfortunate, but I'm glad you guys got to see them. Uh, ALMONDot, a bit confused by them, but I'm keeping my uh, what's that word? What am I keeping open? Um, my mind. I'm staying open-minded, and I want to sort of dig a little bit deeper. Broken by the Scream, they're cool. I mean, they're awesome at what they do, but what they do isn't what works for me. Dizzy Metal was fun, and it really felt like an experience, and I kind of like that. Again, the myth, the lore, the story, just the interactions was something sort of really special to behold. And a lot of it, or all of it, a lot of it was glued by Ui's performance vocally and just what she was doing on stage. So, really, really happy to see that. So those were my 2 shows. Again, I had seen Mellows. They're a band that I definitely do recommend. Sally is damn, damn fire on guitar, and she rocks and does metal even harder than Saki does. Even though Saki is a rock goddess, Sally on guitar, watching her play, like just there's something about her, very fierce. Another band, My Little Devil. I know that BB, the lead singer, right there. That's fun. That's cool to hear, Gerald. I know she's a huge fan of Sara, and their performance was very similar, but they've got a huge stage presence, this band. Their sound is more traditional sounding, like indie J metal, but they're just really, really good. So you can check out their stuff on Spotify or Apple Music, wherever it is. But as a band, I'd really recommend them anytime you get the chance. I also, this was the last week where I got to see Let It Out, and so having their signed single for this one was Bitterness. Really, really cool. I'm sorry, I saw a question. Sally is awesome, and Saki is dangerous. I really would not mind being like stabbed by her. Oh, Gina's great as, I think, a composer. She comes up with some really great rock riffs. There's nothing like too staggeringly like over the top with her, but she's solid. Prog Power? Oh, that's J Music. Okay. That's not me. Alright, guys. So, those are the 2 shows. Let's see. Oh, for those who don't know, maybe you do. Bandmade. I'm here. Bandmade did perform today at Treasure 05X. I'm not sure how you would pronounce that. They did 7 songs. Konami's amp blew a fuse because of the heat, so they had to replace it. There's some footage that's recorded and put up, I believe, both on their Instagram and their Twitter, and probably even their Facebook. You guys can check that out. But it's a really cool little interaction between Konami and Misa for their solo stuff, for the soloing stuff, not solo stuff. That'd be nice, right? That would be a shock if Konami came out with some solo project. That'd be wild. And let's see, is there anything else going on? There is stuff, but yeah, I know next week. Oh, here's a list of the songs. Shambles, Magi, Protect You, um, Don't You Tell Me, Choose Me, Black Hole, Domination. So those are those songs. Yeah. And then let's see what else is going on. Next week, what day is today? It's 13th, 14th, 15th. Okay, there may be a chance that I'll be meeting up with John Reeves. He'll be flying into Tokyo next week, so we may get together. I don't know if we'll do a video or a talk or anything like that, but maybe just go over stuff. I know he's interested in some stuff here, but I know he's a very busy guy and kind of like travels everywhere at this point. Friday the 13th. Oh, it's Friday the 13th. That's right. Friday the 13th. Mello's interview. Those interviews take time, guys. So I'm gonna state it right now. If I mention an interview, don't expect it for at least a month because I have shows, I have work, I have sleep to attend to, I have a dog. Don't rush me, please. Don't rush me. I'm aware of it. I'll get it done, and it will be up. So thank you. Yeah, sorry guys. It's just if you guys only knew like what's on my plate and how hard it is to take care of some stuff. I'm not upset. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. But you know, I'll take care of it. Let's see. Oh, so on the 13th, Exist Trace has their 20th anniversary show. So Gangire is playing. I can't be there because of work, but Gangire is playing. Palaneo is playing. Bad Bubble is playing. A band called Sloth Heart, Sloth Threat. Where is it? Sloth Heart, Sloth. I don't even know. And then Vorchaos, if that's how you pronounce it. I think so. So that's gonna be a really cool show. And then on the 14th, there is a one man for Paradox, 2X's. If you guys are into them, power metal band. They're sort of the, yeah, I guess you could kind of say they're a bit of the Love Bites in the indie metal scene. You know, that power metal. So there's that. Is that true? Has she clouded? No. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, in the moment, like, it's all a haze. And then so that's on Saturday. And then on Sunday, there's a show with She-Glapes at Wildside, Shinjuku Wildside. So I may attend both of those shows. I'm not totally sure. But I think so. But again, it's like, because of the amount of time it takes to go to these shows and then come back and all that stuff and then edit photos, videos if I do, it does take away from taking care of other stuff. So yeah. That's nice. But other than that, there's always a lot of shows. The best way to keep up with what's coming up is, no, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I think she is a rock goddess, but when it comes down to it, and if I have to interact, because I guess like these days when I do interact with bands, I don't interact with them as a fan per se. I interact with them as, I don't know, I'm not quite sure what you would call it. Somebody who wants to not just create content, but create avenues, create bridges, create opportunities, promote, you know? So I got this. Dude, do you know how I'm just gonna say in the past year and a half, considering all the different rock girls, women, ladies, goddesses that I've interacted with, like, I got this. I got this. Don't worry. um, yeah, I'm very respectful. Every now and then I'll lose it, but again, I know how to play it cool. Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I do have to walk my dog. I have to go to work tomorrow. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the review. I hope it's been helpful in some way instead of me just like gushing about Saki. um, yeah, no, but I'd love to just talk to her and kind of see how she is. That'd be really cool. Oh, that's so hilarious. That's so hilarious. But yeah, I'm looking forward to more. Again, there's just so much all the time. So just trying to find the balance and work things out. And then, you know, who was it? I believe it's paraphrasing Steve Jobs, who probably heard from somewhere else. But one of the best ways to success is saying no, you know? And so, no, I didn't lose it with She Glapes. That was for fun. That was for fun. Um, but yeah. Okay. Anyway. Oh, was it Michael Choi? Are you serious? That kind of makes it funnier. But anyhow, um, okay. So the best way that you guys can keep up with like what I'm doing, the shows I'll be at. Usually, I'll post on the community page on our MNN um, YouTube channel. But accurately, the best place will be on Twitter. Second will probably be on MNN. And then now, since I'm doing a lot more on Instagram, that may prove helpful as well. So, but I have been taking a lot more footage, like video footage of these bands and performances. So those will end up going on Patreon. And if you guys are interested in seeing like full uncut like concert footage of stuff that I've done, that'll have to be as a member, like a paid subscriber. So up to you guys. All good if you don't, but if you're interested. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Some of you guys I'll be seeing sooner than later, but at some point I'm sure I will. Things are happening. Things will get sent out to you very soon, so hold on to your hats. And if you have any questions or comments, please comment below. Please continue to like these videos, not just watch them, but please like them. Please comment as well. And yeah, stay tuned because there's always stuff that's coming up. And I'll definitely have more to share as time moves along. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for sticking along. And I will see you again next time. Yes, that's crazy, Richard, really. Coming back to Japan like twice within a month's time. You're not even like doing a business trip. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you. Please enjoy your Sunday and have a good week. And I'll see you again soon. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Bye.